Hey, what's going on, yo? So I wanted to make a follow-up for the for my DPF system. So if you watched a couple videos ago, you would have seen where we were in Oklahoma and a check engine light came on and it threw a code for service the DPF filters. And when I looked the code up, it actually says to clean or replace the DPF filters. And so I did a lot of research. The cost of those filters, new, about the cheapest you could find was just under $1,000, and then a piece, two of them, and then you need to buy all new hardware because the straps and the gasket, it's like a metal gasket, it can only be used once, and that's about $300 for that. So you're looking at $2,100 in parts, and then the labor to have it installed, the old ones removed and new ones installed. They say it usually runs about $3,000 to $5,000, just depending on anything else that might come up. You know, the heat shroud, or if anything breaks. They have to take, I don't know if it's a temperature sensor or if it's the fuel injector. It runs through the heat shroud. They have to take that off, and apparently that's usually bad, or they usually replace it before it goes bad. I guess that's a good time to do it. But anyways, between $3,000 and $5,000 repair. So as we were sitting at that Love's in Oklahoma, and I saw that Jeff's Diesel Repair took it over there, he told me to come back in the morning, which we did, but I'd run out of space on all my cards, so I couldn't record anything. But basically he hooked it up to the computer, and I had actually had very little blockage in the filters. So what he did was he did a forced regen, and you know, he's showing me everything he's doing on the computer, and I asked him, okay, you're going to do a forced regen, what is that going to do? He said that's going to heat your filters up over 1,000 degrees, and I watched on the computer, they got closer to 1,200 degrees, and that's supposed to either burn or dislodge all the soot in the filter. And he said your filter should be completely clean after that forced regen, which could take anywhere between an hour. He's seen them take over 4 hours, just based on the level of buildup. And he showed me the level of buildup on my filters was at level 1, and it was a little green box at level 1. He said the highest he's seen is a red box that said level 7. And so without, you know, a Freightliner professional mechanics manual, you don't really know what that means. But he said my filters were in good shape. He says I'll do this forced regen and you'll be good to go. So that's what he did, and then he put the serial numbers back in and reset the check engine light, and haven't had a problem since. And the guy charged me $110 for doing that. So that was awesome. You know, if you can find an honest mechanic, especially out on the road. Now I'll put all his information in the comments or in the description of the video. If you can find a place like that, especially when you're out on the road where you don't really have another option, that was just, God was looking out for us on that one. But a little bit more information to help you understand the DPF filters. He said those DPF filters should last the lifetime of the truck, as long as you don't run them up to the level where they're so full that they're going to crack. You keep them clean. He said they should last the life of the truck. And of course, the other thing that he mentioned was to avoid idling as much as you could. Just one more reason to have an APU on the truck, which I've been pricing. It's going to be around $10,000 to install APU down to either the Thermo King or HP 2000. Not sure which one I'm going to go with yet. But hopefully get that installed before Memorial Day this year. Yeah. We've been home now for a little over a week. We was only going to stay for 4 days, but on the way home got an email from the FMCSA, my new entrant safety audit. I don't want to say it was due. They were going to perform my new entrant audit, safety audit. I had 20 days to submit to them all of the required documents they requested from the date of that letter. They said if all my paperwork's good, that I would not have to do an on-site. I imagine they're doing that because of COVID, which, okay, but I had to get, it wasn't really difficult to get all my paperwork together. I had it all in a file. I just had to scan it and then email it to myself, download it on a file, and then email it to FMCSA. A little time consuming, but I had to do that. And then I had to file my taxes. So new business. I had two separate accounts that I was using for the business purchases. So in the beginning I had to use the personal account for things like establishing my own authority, buying the truck, buying the trailer, all the licenses and legal fees I had to pay. And I had to actually have the business, I don't know how I want to, I had to have an actual accredited business card from the state of Ohio stating that I was licensed and legal to do business as the name of the company that I named it before I could open the business account. So I had my personal account I used in the beginning, early on in the early stages, and then once I got the business account, then I used the business account for all of my expenses, fuel, parking, showers, repairs, everything that was related to the business. And then I limited using my personal account only for meals and stuff like that, because instead of claiming your meals when you're on the road, you can claim the per diem, which is usually higher, a little bit higher than what you would actually spend for meals. So, but I had to gather all that stuff together. take it to the accountant. Again, it wasn't, I had all the records together. I just had to go through and itemize each purchase, what it was for, and that took some time. And then my DOT physical was due, or is due at the end of March. So I didn't want to mess around and wait too long, not be able to get in, schedule an appointment. It took a week to get in once we called, because COVID has just everything backed up, and tried to get it through the VA so it would be no cost to me. President Trump in 2018 signed a bill stating that the VA could do DOT physicals at no cost to the veteran, whether they were disabled or just honorably discharged, which is a great thing. Unfortunately, going through the VA is like, what could you compare it? I can't even. The VA is worse than the BMV. Trying to get anything accomplished through the VA, they just have you. I mean, they just have you chasing your tail for most of the time, and they're just passing the buck. Oh, you need to contact this department. You contact them. Oh, you need to contact, and just keeps going around. And then after you've called 10 people, the person they tell you need to call was the first person you called, and they just start to run around all over again. So any of you out there in favor of socialized medicine or free healthcare, I would invite you to explore the VA system. You would not like it. But we had all this going on at the same time, so we ended up being home. It's going to be probably 10, 11 days in a row we've been home. So I've been watching the load boards. You know, the rates are pretty good right now. They spiked right after the winter storms. They went, they shot up, and then they dropped back down for 3 or 4 days. I'm not sure what caused that. And then they came back up, and they're kind of leveled off. Pretty good rates. You know, $3 a mile going into Texas, and close to $4 going into Florida. And then here in the Midwest, you know, if you want to go Columbus to Indianapolis, which is maybe 120 miles, those loads are paying $5-6 a mile. So rates are good. We got to get back out there, start making money. But enough of my rant on why I've been home so long. Back to the DPF system. Hope that might help some of you make better decisions when it comes to taking care of your DPF system. And if you've been watching any of my videos, if you could subscribe is free. It won't cost you nothing. You don't even have to watch the videos. You can just hit that subscribe button or the like button. Help me get this information out to more people that might be looking for it. That'd be great. We'll probably pick up a load tomorrow and head out. So I'll get back to y'all when I'm on load. Later.